Hi everybody, Elin here. Today I've come to talk to you guys about my most anticipated releases for the year 2018, and it turns out I have a shitload of books on this list, so I decided to make two different lists. So this one will be January until June. I have a shitload of books that I'm looking forward to in 2018. There are going to be so many great releases, a lot of contemporary releases that I'm looking forward to, which is awesome because I'm feeling like I'm running a little bit low on that. But yeah, I tried to narrow the list down as much as I possibly could so we wouldn't have to be here all night, and I managed to get it down to 13 books, which are the books I will be talking about today. And the first book I'm looking forward to is The Hazelwood, and this book is written by Melissa Albert, and in this one we meet 17-year-old Alice, and her family has pretty much have quite bad luck for a long time. So when her grandmother mysteriously dies on her property, and then her mother is kidnapped by a monster who claims to come from hinterland, which is a weird supernatural world which her grandmother created because she wrote sort of dark fairy tales kind of books, and this character, you know, says he's come from Hinterland, which is a place her grandmother created, or so Alice thinks. And the only lead Alice has is this note that her mother left behind, which says, "Stay away from the Hazelwoods," and that's pretty much all Alice has to go on. And Alice has tried for a really long time to stay clear of her grandmother's fans, but she ends up needing to team up with her classmate called Ellery, and she has to get through the Hazelwood and try to rescue her mother. And of course they come across a lot of problems on the way. So this book will be published in January 30th. And the next book we have is Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller, which will be out February 27th. And this is book 2 in Daughter of the Pirate King. I don't really know how many books it's supposed to be, but this is the second anyways. And I did read the first one when it came out now in 2017, and I really liked it. And I hope I will like it too. So we follow this girl, and she is the daughter of the Pirate King, of course. And she and her father are looking for these pieces of the map, and to get a piece of the map, she gets captured by her enemy pirates on purpose, trying to find this map piece that are missing. And of course a lot of shit happens, and there is just a lot of kick-ass characters, and it's humor, and I freaking love pirate books, so I'm definitely looking forward to the sequel, and of course I'm hoping it will be just as good as the first one. And the next book that actually comes out at the same day as Daughter of the Siren Queen, which happens to be February 27th, is Heart of Iron, which is written by Ashley Poston, and she's the one that wrote Geekerella, which was a book I really liked. And Heart of Iron is about 17-year-old Anna, and she has this companion robot named B09, and it's sort of starting to glitch, and to be able to fix this problem and get her friend back to the, you know, state he's supposed to be in, she tries to steal this coordinate to a spaceship where she thinks all of the answers to fixing her little friend will be. But at the last moment there's this boy who beats Anna to this place, and he has his own reasons for stealing the coordinates, and he doesn't care at all about what he has to sacrifice to be able to keep this coordinate. And then of course everything goes wrong, and Anna and this iron-blooded boy, they have to escape together, and then the entire kingdom is out after them, and of course shit goes down from there. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Like I said before, I really like Geekerella, so I have high hopes for this book, even though there are completely different genres, but you know, you can always hope that they keep the same high standard. And this one is, like I said, coming out February 27th. And then we have The Wicked Deep, written by Shea Earnshaw, which comes out March 6th. And this one is about witches, and I freaking love witches. So there's this story in this town about the Salem witch trials, where there were these three sisters who was on the quest for revenge, and the only thing that could stop them were love. And then we are in this town named Sparrow, and this is the place where these three sisters were condemned to death because of their witchery. These girls were drowned in the water surrounding the town because of their crimes. And now, for the time being, these three sisters have come back to the town, and they're stealing the bodies of three weak-hearted girls so that they may seek their revenge. And also, if there's any boys lurking near the waters, they're actually dragging them down into the depths of the water. So we follow this girl named Penny Talbot, and she's 17 years old, and she, along with a lot of the people living in this town, has accepted the town's kids, really. And then this boy named, what's his name? Bo Carter arrives on the eve of the sisters' return, and he's unaware of the danger he just stumbled into. And there's a lot of mistrust and lies around the town, and everyone's turning on each other because they don't know who to trust, since they don't know which of the girls is possessed, pretty much, of these witches. And Penny and Bo suspect each other for being for hiding secrets, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, pretty much. And it sounds really cool. I freaking love witches, so I'm definitely looking forward to this book, and March 6th. And then the book I'm for sure looking forward to the most in the entire year 2018 is Obsidian, which is the third and last book in the series called Illuminate Files, written by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. And this is a sci-fi story, for guys that don't know, and it's really cool format because it's all told in different files, in chats and emails and documents and stuff like that, and it's really freaking cool. And since it's the third book, I do not want to really tell you guys what it's about because spoilers. But the first book, you meet Katie and you meet Ezra, and they live on this planet called Corenza, and they're sort of, on this planet they have sort of a mine, and they're not allowed to have that, so they're being attacked by this thing called Bitek, and everybody's trying to escape from this planet, of course, because they're being bombed and everything like that. And Katie and Ezra happens to be ex-girlfriend and boyfriend, so it's kind of awkward when they have to work together. But yeah, they're trying to get to this spaceship, and they manage to, but their problems does not end there. It happens so much in these books, and I freaking love the first book, and I love the second one even more, and I cannot wait till the third book comes out, and I really want it now. But unfortunately I do have to wait until March 13th for this book, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it because there's no other option. And then we come to another favorite author of mine, which is Becky Albertalli, and on April 24th she comes out with a book called Leah on the Offbeat. And Leah is actually one of Simon Spear's best friends from Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda. If you've ever heard about that, you should definitely read it if you haven't, because I freaking love that book. So this is sort of, you know, both in this book and the episode of Our Requider, which is sort of book 2, you get crossovers from the different characters, so you should definitely read all of them if you don't want to miss out on anything. Yeah, Leah is best friend of Simon Spear. She is bisexual, but she hasn't dared to come out and tell people about it, not even to her best friend Simon, even though he's out openly gay at this point, and she hasn't even dared to tell him. So the only person that knows she's bisexual is her mother, and Leah's mother is very young, and she's a single mom, and Leah is definitely less privileged than a lot of the other kids at her school. There are unexpected fractures in her little friend gang, with prom and college in the horizon, you know, getting closer, and tensions are running high. So it's very hard for Leah when all of her friends are fighting, and she also realizes that maybe she likes one of them a little bit more than just a friend, and she doesn't really know how to, you know, come about that. And I'm definitely looking forward to this book because I freaking love Sammy vs. the Homo sapiens agenda. The upside of Arnold credit is really good as well, and I freaking love Big Al Batali, and I cannot wait for this book to come out, but unfortunately it does not come out until April 24th, and that's such a long way to wait, and I don't know how to do that, but I guess I'll reread Sammy vs. the Homo sapiens again because I need to do that. And the next book I'm going to talk about is The Burning Mace by Rick Riordan, which comes out May 1st, 2018. And this is the third book in the Trials of Apollo. And if you followed my channel, you probably know that I haven't even started this series yet, but I do own the first two books. I have some other Rick Riordan books that I need to finish before starting to read that series, but as I said, I own them. And I love Rick Riordan, so I know I will love these books as well. And this one is, you know, you follow the god Apollo, and he, you know, he sort of had a fight with Zeus, and Zeus is not really happy with him, so he's sent back to Earth in the form of a pimply, gangly teenage boy. And apparently the fun part about this book is about the fact that Apollo doesn't really, you know, Apollo is still like, he acts like he's still a god teenager, and apparently that's supposed to be really funny. And I really like to read about the god Apollo, and of course like Rick Riordan's books in general because I love mythology, and I'm really looking forward to reading this series. So by the time this book is out, I will definitely have finished the first two books because that's a goal of mine. And the next book we have is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, which is supposed to be sort of a novella between book 3 and 4. So this is 3.5 in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and this book comes out May 1st as well. And I haven't actually finished reading A Court of Winds and Ruin, but that is a goal for me to do in December. But this is sort of supposed to be because the first 3 books in the series follow, you know, Farah and Reese and everything, and those people. And then this is supposed to be sort of a bridge book between that series and the next books, because the next books are supposed to follow some new main characters, even though it's in the same world. And yeah, so this is sort of supposed to be a bridge book between those, and I can't really tell you guys what it's about because I don't want to spoil myself for the third book, and I don't want to spoil you guys either if you haven't read it. But I mean, this series is about Farah, and she's trying to put food on the table for a poor family, and one day she goes into the woods to try to find some animals. The family will have food for the day, and she managed to kill a wolf, but it turns out that this wolf is actually not a wolf, it's a fae in disguise, and this is a very fragile truce between the humans and the faes. And Farah has to go into the fae country together with this fae named Tamlin, and she has to live there for the rest of her life to, you know, pay for her crime. So the next book I'm going to talk about is On the Come Up, and this is by Angie Thomas, you know, the author who wrote The Hate You Give, which was getting a lot of rave reviews from freaking everybody. And I really love that book. Yeah, that book 5 out of 5 stars. So I'm really looking forward to what Angie Thomas can come up with this time. And this is also a book that comes out May 1st. And we don't really know a lot about this book yet, but we do know it takes place in the same neighborhood that The Hate You Give did. So we are still in Garden Heights, and we have this aspiring teen rapper, and this story is supposed to entail what happens when you get everything you thought you wanted. And that's pretty much all it says on Goodreads, so I can't really tell you more than that. But I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I really do hope that Angie Thomas will be able to keep the same high quality on her writing as she did in her debut, and I'm really looking forward to this book. And as I said, it comes out May 1st, and of course this wouldn't be a most anticipated release list without at least one Casey West book on it. So in May 29th I'm looking forward to Listen to Your Heart by Casey West, which is a fluffy, awesome contemporary. I hope, well, it's Casey West, so it probably will be. So we're following this girl named Kate Bailey, and she doesn't really like to talk to people, especially not people she doesn't know, and she prefers to be on the lake and soaking up the solitude and the sunshine, and that's really what she likes to do. But then her best friend Alana convinces Kate to join this high school podcast, and Kate doesn't expect to become like the host, but she does, and now she has to talk to random people and give advice on air, and she doesn't really know how to feel about that, since she doesn't even like talking to people. But to Kate's surprise, is actually surprisingly good at giving advice, and then the podcast gets this anonymous guy calling, asking for advice about his unnamed crush, and Kate is pretty sure that this gorgeous guy named Diego Martinez, who she's asking about, and she also is pretty sure that the girl the guy is asking about is her best friend Alana. And Kate is very excited for her friend, as should be, and but that's until Kate is starting to develop feelings for Diego herself, and Kate finds out that maybe it's easier to hand out advice to other people than trying to ask for help herself. And you know, it's a typical Casey West book, and I love the premise of it, and I really do hope that I like it. But I mean, it's Casey West, so of course I will. And like I said, this book comes out May 29th. So the next book we have is Save the Date by Morgan Matson, and in this one we follow Charlie Grant, and her older sister is getting married, and it's the first time for a really long time that all of Charlie's 4 older siblings are in the same place. So this will sort of be the last big hooray before they are selling the house, and she just wants everything to be perfect for this weekend. But there is a problem though, and that is the fact that this weekend is shaping up to become a utterly disaster, and that is because there's an unexpected dog howling, house alarm that won't stop going off, and a paper girl with a grudge. And there's also relatives who aren't speaking with each other because they're fighting. And there's also this awful girl that her brother brings home that nobody likes, and he brings her home unannounced and nobody's prepared for it. And there's also this missing tuxedo, and not to mention the neighbor who is trying to sabotage the wedding. So there's a lot of things that is not really working out the way Charlie expected it to. And we get to follow her on this disastrous weekend, and it sounds like so much fun. It's definitely screams Morgan Matson, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. And this comes out June 5th. And then we have another book that comes out June 5th, and that is From Twinkle with Love by Zendaya Menon, and that is the author that wrote from When Dimple Met Rishi, and I really like that book, so I have high hopes for this one as well, of course. And so we're following this aspiring filmmaker named Twinkle Mera, and she has a lot of stories she wants to tell with the help of her camera. So she only wants the world to listen to what she has to tell. So when she meets this fellow film geek named Sahil Roy, and approaches her directly to direct a movie for the upcoming summer festival, Twinkle is all over it. This is the chance of a lifetime, she feels like, and she thinks it's a chance to go publicly showcase her voice as a director, and that's her dream come true, really. And it's also that it will get her closer to her long-time crush named Neil Roy, which is actually Sahil's twin brother. So she feels like it's this dream come true times twice. So this is Mr. Man who starts emailing her, and the only letter, his name is N, and Twinkle thinks that this is emails from Neil, which is one of the twin brothers, and she thinks that he's finally ready to start their happily ever after together. And there's only one slightly inconvenient thing, and that is the fact that Twinkle is starting to fall for the other twin brother named Sahil, and she doesn't really know what to do about that. But yeah, this book comes out June 5th. And the next one we have on my list is My Plain Jane. And this one is written by the Lady Janies, called Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton and Jodie Meadows. So this one we follow Jane Eyre. And it's slightly rewritten from the original story, if we put it like that. And You're supposed to follow Jane Eyre, who is an orphan. She is penniless, and she moves into Thornfield Hall, and she meets and she gets married to Miss Rochester because they fall in love. And then they also write, or does she? Because this is an adventure of gothic proportions. And in this, it seems like there's a gentleman hiding more than skeletons in his closets, and one orphan, Jane Eyre, aspiring author Charlotte Bronte, and a supernatural investigator, Alexander Blackwood, are about to be drawn together on the most epic ghost hunt this side of Wuthering Heights. And that sounds amazing because it's Jane Eyre, it's Charlotte Bronte, and it's the Lady Janies. I mean, how can that go wrong? And it's also a ghost hunter story, so that will be awesome. And I have pretty high hopes for this book because I really like the first book, because this is the second book in the series. I don't know how many books there will be. I know there's a third coming at least, but I don't know if it's going to stay a trilogy or if it's coming more or not. I'm not sure. But I'm really looking forward to this book, and this book comes out June 26th. But yeah, those were all of the 13 books I'm going to mention today in this video, and these were all of the books from January until June of 2018, and I'm so looking forward to all of these books and even more books that didn't actually make it on my top 13 list. I do hope that by watching this video, maybe you got your eyes open for a book you haven't heard about before, or maybe you hadn't really checked out when your favorite author were coming up with a book or something like that. I do hope this video helped you guys, and we're going to have a fantastical reading year 2018. I am sure of it, because there's so many amazing releases. And yeah, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below, and also don't forget to click the little bell icon so that you're 100% sure that you get a notification for when I upload new videos. And yeah, I hope we see each other next time. Bye!